Hello, YouTube. This is a revisit of the review for the Retevis RT21V MURS Walkie Talkies. I did some time back, I think about a year ago. These were gifted through a friend that I've known for several years. Her name is Bella, and she actually purchased a 4-pack of these radios. So I gave one set to a friend of mine, Kentucky Goblin. You've probably seen him on some of my live streams, or most of them. So we did a range test these walkie-talkies, and pretty impressive results. So what you get in the box, you get two handheld walkie-talkies. You get the charge cradles, and you can see that the charge cradles, one is red, that one is charging, the one that's green is fully charged. And the plug end of these chargers is actually like an Android phone charger, or it's about like a 3 to 5 volt charger. So if you lose them, you're in luck. You could still use your phone charge wall wart, or you could just plug them into something that has a USB type receptacle on it and still charge these radios up, although it may take a little bit longer. Um, you do get a nice selection of features here. You get the tactical earbud type microphone earpieces that you would see the Secret Service, the CIA, or the pretend commandos might wear. Their audio's a little weird. It's not too bad though. You get 2 belt clips, and for some reason, each one of these little packets that you see came with 4 screws each. So I guess they expect you to maybe, possibly, could be lose one or two. And then, of course, you get the lanyards or wrist straps, and the manual. The manual is not too bad. It's not poorly written or anything. It's straight to the point. It wasn't hard for me to understand. The radios are 2 watts. They are in the MURS band, which is VHF, and they're 5 channels. The MURS band was created back in 2000, right around the same time I believe the FRS was created, the Family Radio Service. MURS stands for Multi-Use Radio Service. It can be used by businesses or for personal use. You can take them camping, hiking. I've seen some pretty poor reviews on these radios, and I'm quite shocked, actually, because when you see here in just a few minutes the conditions that Kentucky Goblin and I had to deal with as far as the hilly terrain here in Kentucky, you're going to be impressed yourself. If not, you're not even, you probably don't even have a pulse. And so I'm kind of calling people out on this one because there were a lot of people giving a bad review for most MURS radios, depending on, well, it didn't even matter really, honestly, what brand they were. They still just were like, well, they're not, these aren't any good, whatever. Okay, that's fine. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think some of you really tried hard enough to make them work. We got 3 miles out of these things. We had to shoot through a knob. So I'm very happy with these radios. I'm happy with the outcome of our range test. We were, like I said, 3 miles away. Mountainous terrain, and I chose to stand on high ground to try to get a little bit of elevation, at least cut that knob in front of me in half. And that's normally what anybody would try to do if you want to make these walkie-talkies work for you. remember that they are FM and FM is line of sight. So if you can eliminate things between you and a receiver, then you would want to gain some elevation. And that's what I did. Um, Later on in that same day, we found out now he was in his car coming back, and I was just walking to the door, so I was actually going right through a metal mobile home, and we still made contact. Now, it was a little noisy, but I could understand everything he said perfectly. They do have a very nice loud volume to them on a speaker, although I think that uh, I wish there was a way to turn it off, like in the programming or something. That there's a tone that comes on, and it's really loud. And um, so, what I would suggest, if you're out in the field, you don't want to disturb anyone, or you don't want to give your position away, I would turn them things up. When I turn them on, just make sure the volume's down. So just that first click when you turn it on, don't go wide open or don't go halfway with the volume. Just keep it right after that click. And then when it's done with the tones and it's done telling you what channel you're on, then you could turn your volume, up at a comfortable level. And it goes for wearing the earbuds as well, or the earpiece microphone set that came with it. You're going to blast your eardrums out. It's a loud tone. And like I said, I wish you could turn that off, but I didn't see any option. Um, Pretty straightforward. You got to push the talk button at the top, then you got a squelch, momentary squelch button. You have a receive and transmit light. You've got your on-off volume and your channel selectors. So there's 5 channels, and every time you select a channel, the radio tells you in plain English what channel you're on. They come with stock VHF antenna, and there are other antennas out there that you could use that would work just as well, if not better. But I found that keeping the radio stock in this review still turned up some really good results, and you'll see that here, like I said, just a few minutes. The belt clip, I believe, on this radio, I think that actually screws right into the battery pack. I'm not real big on that. Because when you change batteries, let's say if you bought extra batteries for these radios, when you change batteries out, you have to take the belt clip off. Um, and here I fumbled to try to get the mic um, door open. These are splash proof. I wouldn't call them waterproof, but they are splash proof. And they're pretty tough radios, but I wouldn't go dunking them in a lake or try dropping them on concrete. I take that back. I mean, I've got a lot of walkie-talkies. I misspoke on the battery, or not the battery pack, but the belt clips. They actually fasten to the radio, not the belt clip, as you see right there. So, my bad. The so I'm thinking of another radio that I have that it actually does have the belt clip right on the battery. And that's kind of silly. Um, so yeah, the case is you know pretty durable. I've seen other videos where people were throwing them down concrete stairs, and I'm like, nah, don't. I really don't want to, test that theory. The battery is pretty easy to take out. You just press a little button at the top of the radio, and then that releases the battery, and you slide it down. And of course, you slide it back in when you're ready to put a charged battery into the radio. So pretty straightforward. Um, yeah, there's not much else I could say. Let's get to the footage of the range test, because that's where the radio really shines. We are shooting through a knob, and we've got about 3 miles between us. So let's roll that beautiful beam footage. It's humid out here. You got a copy on me? Hello?
You there now, Barry?
Yeah, there you are.
Hello, Barry.
Yeah, go ahead, Randy. I got a copy.
I don't think we're going to make it to the dairy dip. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, it's not too bad right there.
I'm going to try the dairy dip, but I'm at the end of Black Pike right now.
Yeah, it's clear as a bell there.
I'll let you know when I'll try to holler at the dairy dip.
Okay, I'm up here by the double wide, so. What was the double wide? You have to forgive the shaking. A rough day today. I'm going to pause this. We'll save some minutes. Kentucky Goblin should be just about at the dairy dip. I'm not holding out a whole lot of hope for that. But we'll see. It's 3 miles. And I've got advantage here up on the hill. You might say, well, he's cheating. He's on a hill. But you realize that I have to shoot through that right there to get to the dairy dip, which is in that direction.
Hey, Barry, can you hear me?
I sure can. Go ahead.
I'm sitting right here at the dairy dip.
That's amazing. Dude.
Sitting right here at the dairy dip walking around.
Now see, there's a difference right there too. You couldn't do that with them FRS radios. You walked around, you broke up from over there.
Yeah. Sitting here at the dairy dip. Of course, they're closed, but I'm sitting here anyway.
3 miles, man. That's amazing.
Yep. Well, you know, on the map how far it is across here.
I was talking to the camera, basically, or the people, whatever, while I was waiting on you, and I was pointing out what we were having to go through to make this happen. And that big knob right here, Maxley knob.
Yeah, right there, where I'm standing right next to the car, I'm standing right behind a big tree, well, to the right of a big tree there. And if I get in front of that tree now, you drop down just a little bit, but if I stay away from that tree, it picks up.
Yeah, it doesn't like anything close to it.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I mean, I can even hear the wind blowing across the microphone.
Yeah, it's just as good as them GMRSs.
Good. I knew better, I knew that they were their tests and everything, these other channels, and I hate to call people out, but I could see that them other channels, they didn't want it to work.
No, they didn't want it to work. They had an agenda like everything else.
I see, there you go. Proof's in the pudding.
I'm going to head back to the home
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the help. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll holler at you when I get back home.
Roger. All right. Be safe out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic out here. I'll catch you later.
There you go, folks. I'll insert a map. I'll explain through Google Earth what we're having to pass through to get to each other on these walkie-talkies. 2 watts, Retevis, RT21V. Pretty impressive. Really just pretty impressed with these radios. So, yeah, I've got no complaints, man. Right up there with GMRS. And shame on you out there, people that didn't try to make it work. You just threw something together and hoped that it would work. Some of you talked to an SDR, which SDR is fairly sensitive. Some of you talked to your spouse. Some of you talked to yourself. But you all came out with claims that these radios weren't worth the trouble. And I'm here to show you right now. 2 watts on VHF. You'd be pretty impressed. And that's with a stock antenna. There are antennas you can buy. They're fairly reasonably priced too, that will extend your range. But look, we did it with a stock radio, stock microphone. Albeit I was up on a hill, but 3 miles from my location at my house here at Catlandia to Dairy Dip over in Houstonville, Kentucky. Lots of stuff between us, even that big knob I showed you. Yeah, pretty impressed.